Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of the Casio G-Shock G-2900. I call it the Sailman because of the sail-shaped analog counters here at the top. Some people don't like those. I don't mind them at all. I think it's kind of cool. It's a nice way to kind of match the shape of the counters to the rounded shape of the top there. So let me go through the pros and cons of this watch real quick and tell you why it's one of my favorite G-Shocks, or one of my favorite digital watches at all, for that matter. First of all, I only paid 70 bucks for it, and I was able to get it at my local Walmart. So it's a popular model if it's distributed that widely. I'll get it back to the home mode. And so it's probably 60 or 65 now, and maybe even cheaper online. So on the main display here, it just shows you all the basic information: time, day, date, seconds, and then you have the counters there. Zoom in a little tighter for you. Here's our e-data memory. So this is one of the defining features of this watch. What it is you put in a 4-digit passcode. It's actually like a PIN code. And then you can store data in here, for example, login information for different websites. There's a dot matrix display here above the red line, and you can have all different characters showing there. So I like to use it for, login and passwords for all the different websites. So what you do is you use the forward and reverse buttons here on the right to select your password. Hit the mode to go to the next field. And then when you get your password in there, it'll say OK, or it'll say error if you enter the wrong password. So for example, here's the wrong password, error. Now let me just go off camera here and enter the right password so I can show you how the rest of that mode works. So for example, here's, I don't think I want to show that either now that I think about it. I don't want everyone to be able to get into my my bank information and so forth. So just a quick look through that mode. Next is the world time mode. So for instance, here it shows us that in Hong Kong it's 6:05 a.m. and a nice feature on this watch too is that it shows the time, the local time, at the bottom most of the time. So here we see it's 5:05 p.m. and you can go through different time zones, either going east by pushing this or west by pushing the reverse button. Next we have the alarm mode. Again, a nice feature here is that it shows us the time of day across the bottom, and then it shows us, for example, alarm 1 is set at this time. And a nice thing about this, it's a little different than most alarm modes. When you go to set this, it asks you what time you want. So again, forward or backward here. And then it's a multifunction alarm. So now down here, if I want it to go off on a certain date, I can just set the date. So maybe I just want it to go off on February 27th at 4:35 p.m. And if that's not good enough, look here. Now we can set like a text memo to remind us what we're supposed to be doing. You can see all the special characters there. So maybe I want to remember to buy a bat or something. And you can use more than 3 characters. They're still in uppercase. Go to lowercase. If you use more than 3 characters, it'll just scroll. And then I set that, and voila, next February, and this is July now, so that's a long time from now. Next February on the 27th, the alarm will go off at 4:30 p.m. to remind me to buy a bat or something. So, and then you can see over here, it's maybe a little bit in shadow, but there's a little marker over there that tells us that alarm is active. So I can turn it off just by pushing the adjust button. And then there's alarm 2, alarm 3, alarm 4, and the snooze alarm. Snooze alarm has its own little indicator down here. Pretty nice. So great, 4 multifunction alarms with text reminder and snooze. So those are some big features for a $65 watch, I think. Countdown timer. So right now it's set for 12 minutes. You can set the hours and minutes only, and then again your time here is still visible at the bottom. So if I want to grill something for 12 minutes, I get that going, but I can still read the time of day across the bottom. Super useful. Stopwatch, you know, your basic stopwatch, only it's got we got seconds. Let's see. Yeah, we got hundredths of seconds here, minutes here, and then this other one at the bottom is hours. So you'll notice we don't have the time of day displayed during the stopwatch or during the E-data memory mode, and then you can see the little counters doing their little fancy thing. And back to the home screen. So things I like about this, the multifunction alarms are pure gold, especially if this is the watch that you wear every day. You can have it remind you of specific things on specific days. The big main display, so the time is easily visible at a glance. Time is visible in almost every mode. It's not too big. I've got a pretty small wrist. I'm going to zoom back here, strap it on for you. I've got a 6 3/4 inch circumference wrist. There's what it looks like on me. Not too big across, maybe, I don't know, 41 millimeters. Not too thick either. It does pretty well with multiple sleeves in the winter time. Basic metal buckle here. The strap keeper is one of the cons. Sometimes that tends to slide back a little bit, which leaves this tail out to catch on things, but not too bad. And some people might be bothered by the fact that it's not atomic or solar. I don't mind that so much. It keeps very good time. The spec is plus or minus 30 seconds per month, and it tends to do a little better than that. And as for it not being solar, they put a little in red print here along the bottom, 10-year battery. So with the 10-year battery life, you don't really need solar. You just, you know, pop a new battery in every 10 years, and chances are 1 or 2 battery changes and you'll be sick of the watch anyway. So there you have it. Oh, the buttons also are easy to press. They're protected here by these little raised guards on the side, but they're still easy to press. You don't need fingernails or anything. It's really comfy on the wrist too. This is a good one for guys with smaller wrists. It probably wouldn't be uncomfortable for bigger wrists either. It's got that pre-curve that Casio is doing now with a lot of their sport watches. And you can see on the bottom of the band there's kind of these hollowed out areas. That keeps it from getting all sticky and, you know, sticking to your wrist when you sweat. It has that on both sides of the strap. So very comfortable watch, very useful. It still looks pretty modern and trendy, despite the fact that it's kind of a nerdy watch at heart. Oh, the timer's still going. So I hope you enjoyed that Casio G-Shock G-2900. Highly recommended. This is a very underrated G-Shock model. I'm surprised it's not more popular than it is. It's actually better than most of the G-Shock modules out there. I would put it right on par with the famous DW5600E as far as usefulness. It's a little thicker, just a little bigger, but it has that E-data memory mode, which is pure gold, and several multifunction alarms instead of just one. So thanks for watching Casio G2900. Remember to click thumbs up or thumbs down and let me know how I'm doing. See you around.